What's up, everybody? Welcome to the PixelPlay Podcast, episode 215. Joined as always, Kaylan, Chris, and myself, Adam. We are here to talk about GTA 6 and all of the actual things that's going on. No, we don't. That's not happening. Look, we could spend 30 minutes and fake talk about how big a deal is, but let's be real. It's another 6 months. I don't care.
I don't either.
It's fine. I mean, I'm mad that they're probably allegedly union busting, but apart from that,
Yeah, the release being pushed. I get it. You're upset for a day, and then after that, it's like...
I wasn't even upset. I was just like, okay, guess I'll just keep not playing it.
What are you gonna do? Not buy GTA 6? Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody's still gonna buy it.
Well, and like,
everything moves out of the way for GTA 6. They can pick. They could say we're releasing Christmas Day, and there's some poor sap at Best Buy who's gonna have to open the door on December 25th to sell it on Christmas.
Christmas
Day.
is canceled that year. It's over.
I mean, at the end of the day, too, like, and I said this in our Discord too. It's like, look, I'm sure if I was 18, I'd be livid, but I'm not. I'm 37. I've been through all the hype before.
Still live it. Yeah.
GTA, like, I don't even know if there's a game, like, I really had to sit down and think about it. I don't think there's a game right now that I'm like, oh my god, I need this to come out tomorrow. I can wait for anything. It's fine. Just, I don't want to wait 10 more years for something. That's different. If it's 6 more months, fine. No fucking big deal. Like, I can find a lot of shit to play. We're good.
The only thing I found funny with the delay of GTA 6 is, remember when it, like, first got a release date, and everyone was like, "Oh man, and if you guys you guys get pregnant now, like you'll be on paternity leave when."
Yeah, the memes that have come out in response to that.
Oh, no.
How many people are just like sitting at home with a 2-year-old and have no time to play GTA?
The only reason I had this child.
Which, by the way,
was it?
If anybody even did that seriously, you're an idiot. It doesn't matter when if the child's born, the paternity leave doesn't matter, because unless you're going to be a piece of shit father, which I guess a lot of these people would be anyway if they were that stupid, you're not going to have the time anyway. So you know what would be the actual solution? Dump the bitch.
There you go.
Problem solved.
That's exactly the message we're coming across.
That and quit your job, because obviously that's in the way too.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So what we're advocating for here at PixelPlay Podcast is be a dirtbag. That's
How else are you going to understand GTA, Kaylan?
That's true.
I want to play it. I don't want to live it.
No, it's method gaming.
No, everybody played GTA 5 and wanted to be Trevor. Like, he was just who you aspired to be in life. You want to wake up in your underwear next to a jet ski. You don't know how you got there. That's fine.
You are Daniel Day-Lewising GTA 6.
I'm going to pass on that one.
I mean, unless they actually make that movie, and then I'm in theaters day one, because that would be phenomenal. I don't know how.
You know what? That's true. I'm genuinely surprised. I know that, like, it's not like these movies don't already exist in other names, but, like, the fact that, like, at no point have we heard about a GTA anything outside of the games is kind of surprising, given the lack of, like, creativity in Hollywood right now.
What would you say is the closest movie we have to a GTA movie? Like
Fast and Furious?
Is it though?
Fast and Furious mixed with like Heat. If you could somehow do
I mean,
that.
if you want to be technical, Scarface is basically Vice City.
True.
That is true, actually.
I mean, if we're trying to not just take unfair ones, I think like Fast and Furious kind of catches the vibe of GTA the best. Like the original, I should say, not the new ones.
I got it. The one that is closest to GTA is the Jason Statham movie Crank. That is basically just going to 5 stars and seeing how long you last.
Or if you want to go with like the absurdity, Pineapple Express.
Mix those two and you got it, actually. I think both of your answers combined becomes the perfect one.
But who's going to miss the goddamn train?
Everybody.
But anyways, no, we're not talking about GTA 6. I know, disappointing. Well, I mean, we did for like, 5 minutes? So I get there's your GTA 6 talk. It's done. Instead, what we're going to talk about,
no, I'm kidding.
What we're going to talk about on this episode is, Kaylan had the fun idea to be like, hey, what are the 5 games that made us the gamers we are today? So that's going to be our big major topic. But, you know, we got to start with the games that are shaping us right now with what we're playing. So, Kaylan, anything new, or is it still just Yote?
Mostly goes to Yote. Good news, I've made it to chapter 2.
There's a
40 hours
chapter?
later.
Wait, there's a chapter number?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have to play this game
I'm so
more.
glad that I'm not playing this game anymore suddenly.
Yeah. So I've now defeated 4 of the guys. Sorry, 3 of the guys, I guess, technically, because they're still like... I've defeated 3 of the guys, and now it's chapter 2. So I'm 40 hours in, I'm on chapter 2. I think this is like the last or second last area. Like the impression I got is that chapter 1 is the biggest chapter, and it's like chapter 2 smaller, and then chapter 3 is like kind of just like the final. So making my way through there, really liking it. I got my stealth build now, so now I'm going around being a super sneaky spy and stabbing everything, because witnesses aren't no one can tell.
Witnesses get stitches, yes.
Exactly. But what I want to talk about is I actually started this week. I started watching the Splinter Cell show. I think Splinter Cell
nice.
Death Watch. Oh,
Did you cry?
oh, guys.
Both because it's good and also because you don't have a game?
I'm rewinding last week's episode, and we're like, oh, what's the best adaptation? It's Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell Death Watch is the best adaptation of the year. Like,
Has it fully come out? Because I know it's on my list to watch.
I assume so because it's Netflix, and there's 8 episodes, so I'm assuming that it's finished in the sense of like this season. I haven't finished the show, but this show feels like Splinter Cell. Like he is just going down,
they were all
mowing people.
One. Yeah, so I'll be able to binge
so it's good. It's really good, especially that first like episode, like the first opening. It's not Sam Fisher because Sam Fisher's like an old grizzled man kind of thing, but they got this new character, and that opening just it feels just like Splinter Cell. Like it feels like the first mission when you're like in Georgia from the first Splinter Cell. And it is just so good. So I'm loving it. Fully recommend it, and just makes me like crave Splinter Cell. Like I need
just in time for the Game Awards to still not show anything. Oh my god,
Why?
Chris, I just realized. If the Game Awards shows a Splinter Cell trailer, does that mean Kaylan's actually going to finally say, you know what? Jeff Keighley understands gamers now.
I think it'll be that Kaylan is upset that he wasn't at the live viewing.
That's also true.
You're like,
because you know what? Chris and I would laugh our asses off.
You guys don't realize I'm going to be the first. I'm going to get a phone call in the middle of the night from Yves Guillemot, and he's just going to be like, hello, Kaylan, it's happening. And that's like that. I'll be the first to know.
That would be him
Who is
trolling
this?
you.
How did
You
you
understand that, right? That would be a troll call.
What? No.
And by troll, he means it's one of us doing a French accent. For sure. Like,
No, it's
me and Adam are going to
It's
practice.
me. It's now. I will go and take that like 2-second clip of Kaylan talking really bad like French accent, and I'm going to loop it into an AI thing, and I'm going to prank call him with that.
I think it's
and we won't even do
AI and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't even do it well. Like, we'll call you through Discord. It'll just show our names. Like, it's not going to be great.
It's going to be speech to text.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I've just been burning through Ghost of Yote and watching Splinter Cell. So primo week.
Heck yeah. That's good.
All right, Chris, what you up to?
I actually beat 2 games that I'd already been kind of playing and finally got through. The first one is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, because I already beat Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and I was able to... and I bought them as a bundle in the Steam Summer Sale, and I was still like so into like 2D Ninja that I needed more. Ninja Gaiden is really good, but it is not as good in my opinion as the Shinobi game. I would give this one like a 5 out of 6. Only because, and this may not even be a bad thing for people, it's a lot more just traditional linear platformer left to right. Like, there is no going back to levels as much. There's no Metroidvania-ish to it, like where you'd have to get like new upgrades and return to levels because you couldn't get into areas. Shinobi had it where you'd unlock a grappling hook later, and then you'd go back and you'd find a secret area that had a rift that led to like some bonus stuff. Here, there are collectibles, but for the most part, you can just get them in your first run-through of the level because there is no power-ups and stuff that you'll get later that really, really matter. But the game itself is still fantastic. This one is pixelated, where Shinobi was more of like a hand-drawn art style. This one has it where a big mechanic is bouncing off enemies as you're jumping, which was kind of in the original game. And you'll notice in the video, for anybody watching on the video, you'll see there's like some enemies that have like a blue icon above them. If you get that, you get powered up a lot for like, I don't know, just like a few seconds, but it would be a one-shot hit on like a big enemy. So if you're watching the video, the guy with the big stomach with the eyeball in it, he takes like 5 hits. But if you were to have killed this bird that just died and you have this power above you, you would have been able to one-shot that enemy with the stomach and all that kind of stuff. It is still an incredible game. It's a lot of fun. The replayability is the only part that kind of isn't there. The only thing that does have a bit of replayability is there's a secret ending if you play through on hard mode, which you only unlock by beating the game at least once. And on the normal mode, there's 2 different endings depending on a decision you make on the last level. I won't spoiler it or anything like that, but it's nice because you don't have to replay the whole game. You just have to replay the last level in order to do that. The only thing is that means you have to fight the whole final boss, which is really fucking hard, a second time. I did do it. I did not go and do a hard mode replay or anything like that. I didn't want to do that. The game's already hard enough. It does have accessibility options, so if you want to turn down your damage and stuff like that, you totally can. I did for one boss, but I did put it back up after that. I was just so freaking tired.
That's kind of how I was playing with some of those bosses, where eventually I was like, okay, I'm having some trouble. I'll turn it down a little bit, and then if it kept being bad, I just kept slowly downing and downing until it finally worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did it for one boss. It was late at night. I wanted to go to bed. I had to work in the morning. And the one boss was just like a sponge for damage. It didn't matter how much I hit it. It's just like the health was going so slow. And there's no accessibility option to make you damage more. So it was like the amount of time it took to take down that boss and then for me to die was really frustrating. And again, I wanted to go to bed so I could just go to work in the morning. So I turned down my damage to like 50% or something like that and was able to get through it. I only did it for those ones that one, I think it was just the one. But it is there and you can put it up and down as you need. So it's not like you have to leave it on. So it's really fun. I love the game. It is beautiful. I think that the artwork is so fantastic. And it's nice because it also pays a lot of homage to the original Ninja Gaiden on NES. This is actually happening at the same time as that game, which is also really cool. So you don't need to know the lore, but it's fully there if you're familiar with the old game from the 80s. The other game I beat was one specifically I beat for Kaylan. It is his favorite game of all time, and that is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes!
And it's funny because we mention it ever so briefly in the side quest coming up on Friday that me and Adam totally will record in the future and haven't already recorded right before this, which I didn't say anything in that yet, Adam, because I didn't want to spoil that I'd recently beaten that. We talked about Orin in Final Fantasy X. Yeah, I finally beat it again. I haven't beaten Kingdom Hearts 2 since I bought it on launch day on PS2. When I originally played that game back in the day, I was confused as hell and a little bit angry. I had played Kingdom Hearts 1, loved it. It was a little confusing, but I still understood the plot the whole time. Then I went to play Kingdom Hearts 2, and back then had no idea a Game Boy Advance game had come out in between that explained a little bit of stuff that happened. So I was right confused and a little bit angry that you had to play a game on a system at the time I didn't own in order to understand Kingdom Hearts 2 after Kingdom Hearts 1. So yeah, I was a little confused back then. I kind of figured it out, but still was like, what is a Roxas? I don't know what's going on, all this kind of stuff.
You never do.
Replaying it. Yeah. Replaying it, I actually understood now because I had watched all the scenes and everything from Chain of Memories, which was the game in between, and came to this knowing now that I needed that information. This game is actually so much better than I remember. It was delightful playing through this. And it helps a lot that I'm even more of a Disney nerd than I was back in the day. So Final Fantasy and Disney being mixed into one, obviously my cup of tea. But yeah, this one is like such a step up from Kingdom Hearts 1. It's insane. Obviously, the story does push it a bit further and all that kind of stuff. But like the worlds you go to, I love the like deep cuts, especially for the mid 2000s. Sure, you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, which was popular at the time, but then you go to Tron, like the original Tron movie, which at this time, they hadn't done Tron Legacy and all that. And like, it was such a cool world to go to. And Kingdom Hearts 2 is actually the reason I saw that movie and fell in love with the Tron franchise in general. Kaylan, I see you.
Kaylan's already upset.
Yeah, so having never played this game before, why does it look like all the characters are running like their thighs are chafed from being out all day? Like no one's running properly.
Because it's
in
a
this game.
Japanese game, Kaylan. It's not supposed to be realistic.
That doesn't answer the question.
That's because
like,
if you were an
Goofy
actual
looks-
JRPG king, you would understand that answer.
Like Goofy looks like his thighs are raw and just they can't touch as he walks.
I think they were trying to pill the animation from some of the movies, and Goofy just doesn't walk normal. He's goofy, if you will. Yeah, I think it's that. This was also an interesting world to go to because, like, usually Sora and Goofy and them change when going to a world. Like, if you go to the Little Mermaid world, like, everybody's a mermaid or Goofy's a turtle because, again, he's Goofy. You'll go to Nightmare Before Christmas and they all look, like, very Halloween-y. You go to Pirates of the Caribbean, that's my one gripe, I guess, with this, is you go there and you, like, stay the same.
And
so
unsurprisingly, none of the voice actors reprised their roles because Lord knows Square Enix wasn't fronting that fucking bill.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to pay for Johnny Depp at the time. It would have been a lot of money.
I
He was
think
pretty
somebody did
popular
carry
at that
over. I
point.
think the guy, what's the guy that plays like the first mate? I'm trying to that guy, like the fatter guy with the beard. I think he does.
Yes. Yeah. They were able to get a lot. Like, seeing the credits after this game, it's actually pretty impressive who they're able to get. Like, you get like the James Woods for Hades. Pretty much every character from except I don't think Danny DeVito was Phil.
Like, there's some major
for
ones, like Tom
Hercules and stuff,
Hanks.
but-
Like, most of those guys from Toy Story aren't there. But, like, I think the guy that plays Pig actually covers them for one of them, or no?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the guy who plays Woody in Kingdom Hearts 3 is actually Tom Hanks's brother or something. Like, he does all of Tom Hanks's Woody roles for the non-big movies. There's something in there that I may not be 100% accurate, but it's something like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this game is a lot better than I remembered. Like, it was so good that when I finished it, I immediately started up the next game, which I'm now at the point where all the games I play in Kingdom Hearts going forward, I've never played before because I do have the full
I was
collection.
going to say, she must be on Birth by Sleep, I think, then?
Birth by Sleep. Yeah, which is a little bit of a rougher one. I'm not going to lie. I'm not too far in
If
it,
they're
but-
not numbered, they all are. That's my hot take. I know some Kingdom Hearts fans will hate that, but, like, if it doesn't have a number to it, and guys, 358 under 2 days doesn't count. If they're not a 1, 2, or 3, they're kind of rough.
Yeah, unfortunately, so 358 over 2 or whatever it is, that one is just a movie, so I just got to finish Kingdom Hearts 2 and then watch that as a movie. I didn't mind that at all. That was great. I got all the story without having to deal with the bullshit. Yeah, these other Kingdom Hearts are a little more rough because they're made for mobile.
Yeah,
You
they
got
were
a Game Boy
PSP
Advance.
games. They were not great.
PSP is Birth by Sleep, and then 358 and Dream Drop Distance or whatever. Though
Yeah, they were
that's
3D.
3DS
They
and
were
DS.
3DS, yeah.
Yeah, so like they're just going to be worse. You can just tell. Birth by Sleep is nice because it's like a PS4 upgraded version, so it has like the graphics quality of say 2 or probably more Kingdom Hearts 1. But it's just, you can tell it was a PSP game. It's a little rough. I'm getting through it, but I'm not enjoying it anywhere near as much as I liked 1 or 2. I'm just trying to get to 3. I've never played 3, and I just want to finally get there, to be honest. Yeah. But I highly suggest 2. I really do. The worlds, you go to some of them, and it's like, you're going from Winnie the Pooh to Pirates of the Caribbean to some Final Fantasy type looking world. And then all of a sudden you're in Tron. And then you're doing a musical number with Ariel and Little Mermaid. Like, it is a wild ride. And I mean, if you hate Disney, you're not going to enjoy this very much because it's a lot of Disney. But yeah, I'm a huge Disney fan and obviously Final Fantasy fan. And seeing all of that so intertwined, God,
I just had a crazy
I feel like
thought,
this game
Chris.
was made for me.
Why do all the characters
Yes.
in Pirates of the Caribbean look like Final Fantasy 12 like reskins?
I think it's because the technology at the time was probably the same, and it is Square Enix. It may be the same game engine, or at least character animation engine.
Wouldn't surprise because
they're
it does
very.
look kind of close.
I think this was 2005, and 12 was 2006. So I would not be surprised if this is a very similar engine or something.
But yeah, it's the greatest game ever, and Kayla should play it, right?
That's why I played it. I needed Kaylan to know that I respect his decision of this being the best game that's ever been made.
Because, like, honestly, look, Kayla makes fun of it a lot. I make fun of it a lot because, yeah, the story is nonsensical as shit. At the time, and even playing Kingdom Hearts 3 when that came out, they're fun games. Do they make a lot of sense? No.
They do if you Google a lot when you play. That's what I discovered.
Yeah. Except you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to. No. And the Ansem reports, I go in and I read them because I'm like, all right, this is the backstory. There's so much here, and I'm trying to unravel it, and it is.
3 didn't do it as well, but like the first 2, if we don't count Chain of Memories, if we just talk Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, they do their job very effectively well. They're great hack and slashes, and you get to beat the shit out of a ton of Disney villains. I have no complaints.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're so much fun. So much fun.
You're missing out, Kaylan.
No, I think I'm good. Like, as someone who's not into Disney and not into Kingdom Hearts, this is like the furthest thing that I would go for.
What about Final Fantasy? Because that also is something you love, right?
I played one Final Fantasy. It was mediocre at best.
It's like
Think of it like it's Final Fantasy 16, but so much more in your wheelhouse of RPG tropes.
Chris,
and
calm down.
goofiness.
We got him at least into Clair Obscure. Like we have an opening now. We can slowly build him.
We can build it.
Well, you know what? Fine, I'll be nice. Hey, Kaylan, you want something that you're interested in?
Yes.
I
Let's
played
not talk
and
about
quit
JRPGs.
on Outer Worlds 2.
Oh, okay, cool. How was
Played
it?
and quit.
So,
How was it?
here's the thing. I won't say it's a bad game, but I'll say that I dropped it for similar reasons of Yote. I enjoyed the gameplay of it. There's just nothing for me to link to. Like, the characters are fine, but again, like, nothing's standing out there. Like, look, I know, Kaylan, and your infinite wisdom hating Yakuza, even though you've never played one. The thing with Yakuza, it's all the same copy and pasted open world shit, but at least the characters are goddamn interesting. I tried with Outer Worlds, but like, again, same problem that I have with which fucking game was it? Oh, Vale Garden, Kaylan. Obviously, you painstakingly finished that one.
Brutal.
But like, the problem with Outer Worlds remains the same. Your party members fucking are boring. Like they just suck. But like, the game is fine. Like, I enjoyed the romp of just going around and just shooting the shit out of things. That was fine. I got out of the first main planet you land on, and as soon as I started the second one, I was like maybe half an hour in on that planet, and I had that moment of, oh god, I'm just gonna do this again. It's gonna be the same loop again. And eventually I was like, Nah, I don't think I need to do this again. Like, if anyone's into these style of games, especially if you're younger and you haven't played a lot of these, you'll like it. You'll honestly like it a lot. I think there's a lot here. The customization options are great. There's a lot of really cool weaponry. There's a lot there for you. And it's a good way of, like, if you are the kind of person that just wants something chill, check off some boxes, complete some missions, you'll like this a lot. I just need story now. I can't play these games without story, and it just doesn't have any. Maybe it does pick up. I don't know, because I'll never see it. But it didn't get to that point before my brain was like, bro, you've got like 10 other games you can be playing right now. Like, you can do something else.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think with Kaylan, if you do get around to playing this, I think you'll be fine. It's not working with me right now.
Kyle's search for Employee of the Month.
Yeah. I mean, I did have fun messing with capitalists. Don't get me wrong, I had my fun. I didn't get to be a full-on socialist nightmare, though. I didn't get to play deep enough in to really see how that went. So unfortunately, I don't get to see the full scope of it. But you can tell me how your Space Corpo run goes whenever you get around to it.
Sounds good. Yeah, like, I don't know. I was playing Ghost of Yote, and I was like, man, I'm excited to get to Outer Worlds, but I feel like I'm going to need a palate cleanser. I don't think I can go from one
I
world to the
think you
next.
probably
No.
would too.
Yeah.
So, hey, Kingdom Hearts 1.
Absolutely not.
Imagine. Oh,
I can only dream.
yeah. That'll be the day.
So, I was trying to figure out what the next thing was going to be. I wasn't really sure where to go. And I had a few small indie stuff that I was thinking about. And I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling something that's like a little off the cuff right now. I'm like, you know what? I don't think this will go well. But you know what? Let's give this open world game a shot and see what happens. And I gotta tell you, I'm surprised. I did not think I was going to like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I
I
really
was
like
not
this
expecting
game.
you to play this.
I really like this game. So,
Okay.
and here's the thing. It's when it came to Ghost of Yote, the gameplay was cool. The story wasn't catching. I wasn't vibing. So I eventually had to drop that. The Outer Worlds, I really enjoyed the gameplay. Wasn't really vibing with it. So I had to drop this one. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, the gameplay is jank as fuck. Oh my god. It is so bad. And it vibes so goddamn well. And that proves to me that all I need is just something to... I can't believe I got to use this analogy because it's way too on the nose, but it really gave me something to sink my teeth into.
Oh, you wrote that down.
I did not write that down.
Boo.
So, and ironically enough, playing this almost as soon as we had our snowfall made this really entertaining because it's almost the exact same amount of snowfall. But this game so far, like I'm maybe like 7-8 hours in. And like I said, gameplay, like it's first person, like it feels like first person PC hand-to-hand combat gameplay from like fucking 2008 still. It is jank as shit. It is rampantly clicking and then dodging, and I'm surprised I'm not getting motion sick. But like, the voice acting's relatively good. The aesthetic is very interesting. And the storytelling, while I probably am missing a lot of lore because I've never played anything in the series before, but like a lot of the lore that I'm hearing, like there's a lot going on in the background, whether historically or just within the area itself, that leads to me going, okay, like I may not be playing this like for 8 hours straight, but I'm definitely curious to see where it's going compared to Ghost of Yote and Outer Worlds, where I'm like, this is fun, but I don't really care about the actual story they're trying to tell here. This is now a game of like, I don't know necessarily the story is like top notch, but the character work is so interesting, and a lot of the different people that you meet through this game are so interesting that I'm like, I can just live in this world, and if there happens to be a decent story as I go here, I can work with that. And also, as we've made the conversation before with these kind of games, traversal means a lot. If the game is not fun to move around in the open world, it's going to be really hard to stay with it for a long period of time. Having a game where you can just climb the rooftops, glide across, almost Spider-Man-esque in a way, just in first person, it works out very well. The map isn't very big. I would say, Chris, it's kind of similar to like a first-person Kamurocho in Yakuza. It's not too big, so it actually doesn't like... as far as I know, you don't go into any other areas apart from like flashbacks and shit. But like, there's not so much that it feels like there's nothing to do. And there also isn't so much to do that you feel overwhelmed. It's pretty linear. Like you'll open up on a new day. Like it'll just go like, it's almost like levels. Like each day you'll wake up and there's like 3 missions on the table. And you can just pick which one you want to start with. But by the end of the night, you'll have cleared everything. But it's like, you go this place, and it maybe takes you to that spot, and you come back. And then you go to this place, and you just repeat. But it's not like there's 20 little collectible things on the map for you to do. If there is anything, I've never come across them, thank God. But like, it's mostly just, here's a mission, here's a mission, here's a mission, here's a mission. Okay, day's done, go rest, ready for your next set of missions. And there's character work in terms of NPCs that you can start building relationships with, which can involve you evolving your skills over time. I haven't gotten deep enough where I can do that yet, but there are, I want to say it's like 6 to 8 of them. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. And almost all of them are romantic, and it doesn't matter what they are. You can flirt with the sexy women, and there's this old English lady that you can be like, you know what, you're my type, let's go. And just go for it. There are some really interesting cast of characters in there. The ones that I'm getting the most interest out are... Patience, who is this like punk-ish sort of like artist that's making stuff out of like scrap metal, almost like the artist from like the Iron Giant, the guy who was just like making shit out of stuff he found in the junkyard. And then there's also, I'm trying to blank, what's his fucking name? It's this biker dude, and I'm blanking on his name right now, but he owns this bar called the Dutchman, and he's this bald mutton chops, like tattoos everywhere biker dude, and he's such a fucking badass. So like, there's few guys here and there that are really, really sick. And they have all these different aesthetics. Like, you have that guy. You have this, like, 1800s, like, Belle of the Ball girl that still speaks like she's some, like, plantation old-school lady. You have, like I said, the British lady. You've got, like, your sort of, like, Latin-sounding, like people. You have, like, your Russian dude. Like, there's all these different aesthetics. They all have something different that they bring to the table. And it all works. Like none of them feel like they're outstaying their welcome, that they're just like there to be fodder. Like everybody seems like they're there for a purpose. My only complaint is I love my character to death. I love the design I picked out for her. She's got this badass red long hair. She's got this sick ass fucking like black metal sort of makeup vibe going on. But the game does not let you customize outfits except for the 4 you unlock on your class. And none of the outfits are good. They all suck. I can't have my version. I can't go to a clothing store and buy the outfit or buy the pants I want to go with the shirt I want. She has to look in one of 4 ways, and I hate them all. And I'm just like, okay, can we just erase this part of the game and just have her face in portrait mode and I never have to see anything else, so I can't be upset about the fact that I can't customize this bitch. And the modders haven't gotten to it either, so I can't even solve that problem. But like otherwise, like I said, the gameplay, like for anyone watching the video version, it's jank as fuck. And, you know, I mean, there is options. You can hold down and knock people back, which it is fun for like Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, people off of roofs. That is fun. You can also what's the word I'm looking for? Not telepathy, like telekinesis, and grab weapons and use them. So you can grab their guns and use whatever's left in the clip to take care of them, throw knives, throw whatever. So like the combat is still fun, but I'm not going to sit here and say that it's well crafted. It's pretty rough. It's like they didn't put that much budget into this part of the PC game kind of first person combat. It's not great. But like on vibes alone, it's killing for me.
It's funny, I'm just watching the video and like your character, and especially when you're in first person, like just like the tattoos and hands, you look like Chris Angel Mind Freak just going around the city.
I wish she looked like Chris Angel Mind Freak. The clothes would have made more sense for her. But yeah, no.
I guess this kind of goes to show that you don't need like incredible graphics or even non-janky gameplay. The game's got to be fun, right?
Yeah, like it's fun to play and it's vibing really well. Chris, you'll also like this little tidbit. It's not the same guy, but at the beginning of the game, you realize that like you are also carrying the soul of like this detective guy, and he's giving me massive Thomas Jane from The Expanse vibes.
Oh, heck yeah. I love that.
So there's that as well. But yeah, and like even right now on the screen, you can see like that's like half the map that you just saw on the screen. That was the top. That's basically half of it. Nice. So like it's not massive. Like I think the longest I've ever had to walk is 600 meters, and since you have faster sprint speed and obviously you can climb buildings and just dart across them, it makes that not feel like much. So I'll see where it goes from here. I don't know if I'm going to say this is going to be like a high rating when I'm done with it, but like I'm just vibing pretty. Like this is a good like anything else game right now. Like just here's something to just literally just mess around with for a little bit until, you know, I figure the next big thing I'm going to go after.
Fair.
I like it.
And I'm still surprised that I ended up liking it, because I'm like, I looked at all the Steam reviews, and a lot of people didn't like it. And I realized the reason is because they were expecting Bloodlines 2. I've never played Bloodlines 1, so I don't know what that means. So I'm just playing Bloodlines 2, expecting it just to be a game about vampires.
Yes.
And it's fine.
Yeah. I'd be in the same boat, so that's good.
But anyways, enough about the games we are playing. Let's talk about some of the games that we did play that kind of turned us to what we are. Kaylan, it was your idea. How do you want to set out the order on this?
I don't know. So like,
because I know we were saying we were going to do 5.
Yeah, so I figured like 5 games that kind of like built the kind of person we are in terms of like what kind of games we play, how we kind of like went from, hey, pick up a controller for the first time to, I like this genre and playing this way. So I was going to go, we could either do it like chronologically, or we could do like the ones that had, I feel like chronologically might be like the more.
That's how I set up mine.
Yeah. Now, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just like one game, but it could be like a series or a franchise as well. So,
I did manage
kind of like
it was challenging, but I did manage to put one game through a couple of series, and I'm like, well, I could go a lot of ways with this, but
okay. So then, yeah, I'd say like let's do it like chronologically. Like the games, like as you played, it's like okay, this was a pivotal moment in my gaming like experience and kind of led me one way or the other. So.
There's a chance that Chris and I may have the same starting point, but we'll see.
That's fair. So, yeah. So, like I said, if you guys want to, Adam, do you want to go first, or
sure.
Chris, do you want to go first? Oh no, sorry.
Doesn't
Are we
matter.
gonna do like each one of us? Like we'll do all five, and then like we'll go to the next person.
I
That way it's, like,
if it's gonna be a lot of talking, if it's just one of us at a time, so I think it's better we
Fair.
like, kind of rotate.
fair. Okay.
So
do it
to
that
me, and maybe Chris, you'll be a little bit earlier in this because you are obviously older than me, but like, I look
Thanks,
at,
Adam.
Yeah, I know, you fucking old man. Jesus. Me is the one who's actually got no hair, ironically enough.
And I've got the gray hair, and yet somehow Chris is the
I
oldest.
think
of
I'm the
all of
youngest,
us.
right? I'm trying to remember.
I
How
think
old
I'm
are you,
the
Kaylan?
youngest. 36.
Okay, never mind. I'm the
What the hell's
I'm
a
the middle
30?
What a surprise. The bisexual guy is the one in the middle. Figures. All right, anyways.
Yes, I'm a top.
So I originally thought about like, okay, what about the games that I played when I was first a kid? And like, I don't know if any of those shaped me per se. Like, because obviously Mario would be up there, Zelda would be up there. Even games like the Magic School Bus, ironically enough, on either PC or Sega Genesis were both games that I played a lot as a kid. But I wouldn't say like they did anything to me. I don't think I truly became a gamer until Final Fantasy, at the time, 2, which is now 4, came out. That was the first time that like I remember getting mad because I had to go to bed and there wasn't a save point. So I remember getting a piece of duct tape, putting it over the SNES light so my parents wouldn't know that I left the power on. So the TV was off, but it's the only way that I could get away with, not having to worry about, my game not being saved because I was like half hour without a save point and being like, well, this is stupid.
Pin right there. I feel like that's a definitive moment in like our generation of gaming. Of like, I remember once we like had to go away for the weekend, and I was playing a game like Friday night, Saturday morning. We were leaving, and I left my like console running all weekend with just the TV off, console on, so I could pick it up right where I left off.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely was trying to do that. And once my dad caught me, and it was supposed to be we were leaving as a family to go somewhere, and me and my buddy were playing Phantasy Star 4, a JRPG on Sega Genesis, and I was fighting the final boss, which had taken me forever to get to, and I'm like, I can't go yet. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to just shut off the TV, put like the tape over the light. My dad caught it and shut the power off to the house on the breaker and then put it back on so we would leave. And I was traumatized because that's a JRPG on the final boss. The save point's not right before the boss.
Yeah, it's like an
that
hour
was-
dungeon.
It was like an
Chris-
hour or so of
Chris,
gameplay.
Keep that there, and like the one day when he's in the hospital on life support, be like, remember that one time?
Breaker. Yeah, I don't think I'll do that specifically, but I'll do something fun. Like
Because, yeah, like, Final Fantasy IV, I think is... I mean, obviously, like, we know I'm the true JRPG king. That's the first game where I kind of realized that, like, okay, these games are neat. We'll see where this goes. And then, like, not long after that, Final Fantasy III I saw on the shelf. I'm like, all right, let's see where that goes. But 4, I think, is the one that, like, I realized, oh, these are really sick. I like this kind of game. I don't like the fact that, I'm bad at them because I don't understand how EXP works because I'm, like, 8 at the time, I think. So I'm just like running away from every battle, and then why is the boss so hard? It's like probably 5 levels under what I should be.
yeah.
But I think that's the first game that I can think of where I went, okay, like this is something I enjoy a lot.
Very nice. Kaylan, what's your first?
I think for me, it's a toss-up, and I think I'm going to go with the one I played more of. So for me, like, I started, like, I had a SNES, I had an NES, I had an N64, all that stuff. But I think one of the first games that I remember playing regularly in a series that's kind of been really important to me is Command & Conquer. We talked about it earlier, but, like, I grew up playing the original Command & Conquer in, like, 1995. I was, like, 5 or 6, like, maybe 7.
So you weren't at Tim
game.
Curry
Like,
level yet.
pretty much, like, we were at, like, I was at, like, a babysitter's house, and they had Command & Conquer. And then my dad had a bunch of buddies who all played like games online, and they played Command & Conquer. And so we would like my mom, who was computer savvy at the time, would like enable it so I could play with them via like we were chatting over ICQ to like set up a game so we could meet online to play Command & Conquer. And then just like as it got more and more, like I'd play Command & Conquer Red Alert, Tiberian Sun. So like I just remember playing a lot of Command & Conquer like on the family computer all the time. And like at one point I had like when I got older and I had my first laptop for like university, I actually changed it so that like when you turned on the computer, instead of like making the Microsoft sound, I was able to change it and said like took the sound from like Command and Conquer, was like welcome back Commander, and like I changed my computer.
I think we
sound.
all did that at some point. Like Chris, you might
Yeah.
appreciate this. I used to have a lot of the system sounds on my Windows computer to sound like all the .hack, Ultimate
yeah.
OS sounds.
My entire computer was Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Wallpaper, the mouse icons, the sounds, everything was Final Fantasy VII.
It's funny though, Kaylan, you mentioned Command and Conquer. I don't understand this. I hate strategy games, but for some reason, when I was younger, Red Alert was the fucking bomb for me.
Yeah,
Because it was.
It was. And that Hell's March song or whatever that would play.
So good.
But like no other Command and
So
Conquer
good.
game has ever worked for me, and I've played probably like 5 different ones since then.
Well, Red Alert, and particularly Red Alert 2, was a departure from the Command and Conquer like genre a little bit. Like it had the roots, but it was very different. Like if you played Command and Conquer, if you played like Tiberian Sun, if you line them all up, Red Alert kind of was like, especially 2, was a unique kind of experience. It didn't feel just like the other like Command and Conquer games.
Yeah, but even then, like you figure 20 years after that, I'd find at least one game close to like that I enjoy, and the answer is not even fucking close.
Yeah.
It's weird.
No, I just especially Red Alert is so good. Like I'm like playing all the missions and stuff like that. Like you could like literally have a mutually assured destruction tank that just rolls into the city and it blows up like a nuclear bomb. It's just so over the top.
Yeah. Oh, such a good pick. For me, I'm going to have to go way back because I am the old man of the group in my early 40s
So
here.
Pong.
No, it's the stick and wheel thing where they go and chase that.
First of all, we were playing Kick the Can. It is very different. No.
Tiddlywinks.
We're going back to 1989 when I got my Game Boy, and my first game for sure is Tetris. I can't like it. I know it sounds just so generic and like,
But for you, it makes
everybody
perfect
else.
sense, honestly.
For me, it does, right? Because like this explains Balatro, this explains Picross, this explains my need to own every handheld that exists. It's because that's where like I got my start. I remember I was in.
Are you mad that your Game Boy Lego doesn't have a Tetris cartridge?
Okay, why the fuck doesn't it have a Tetris cartridge? It's got a Zelda and a Mario. Like, Tetris, it's not like the Tetris company isn't willing to work with Nintendo. They do all the time. Tetris 99 exists. Like, god damn it. But
There's some bad blood between Tetris and the Lego company. They
Look,
buy
Chris,
the
I got the
blocks.
solution. You buy another one of those, but you just take the cartridge and you get a sticker and you put it on top.
that's true. That is
But they
true.
don't have the
I should
string.
buy a second one. Yeah, that's true. Without the string. It's just going to be the Nintendo one that I've got that goes down. But yeah, I remember getting my Game Boy, which obviously came with Tetris. That was, back in that day. It was my 4th birthday. My family got me a Game Boy, my parents, obviously, and I think my aunt and uncle as well. So I would have been 8, I think, at this point. And they put it in a Frosted Flakes box to trick me. Though I love Frosted Flakes, so I was actually very excited. But then they're like, no, you gotta open it. And then I do. There's a Game Boy. I spent the entire night playing that. I literally burned through batteries and discovered what the fuck batteries were in a single night, where 4 AA's. It's not like the Game Boy was pretty good on batteries. It did not require much to run that screen. But yeah, it would have been probably 8 straight hours of Tetris that I played. And yeah, I was never the same after that. That's when I discovered my love of just having something in my pocket or with me.
And then 2 years later, a young
to play.
Chris started his Steam backlog.
And then, Steam didn't exist yet, but it would have been. Oh, I would have been there. Yeah, but yeah, it's Tetris. Like it defined me, like with simplistic gaming, handhelds, puzzles. Like some of my favorite gaming is like puzzle games, which are just so simple. You get the Picross, you even all the way up to Balatro, right? This is where this fully comes from. It's just modern day Tetris, but obviously constantly being upgraded. Different.
I mean, technically,
It's what the
Ball
reason-
X Pip makes way more sense now because it is in a rectangle format.
Yes, and like this led me getting on my Game Boy, leading to Brick Breaker, like Arkanoid, I think it was called on the Game Boy. Like all of those style games, just where they're more strategy, puzzles, and like that kind of stuff. Like they took over for me, and I've never been the same since. So Tetris is definitely not only the very first video game I ever owned myself, but it's the one that got me into like, hey, this is fun. Where I'm gaming in the back of a car, waiting for every light, a street light to go by so I can finally see the screen slightly because it wasn't even backlit. Like I was hardcore with my Game Boy. So that's where it started.
So the second one for me is a massive gap change. So I go all the way to, let me just double check when this game came out. I'm pretty sure it was 2008. So we go from 4, which came out in like the early 90s, to 2008 with the PS2 era. Technically, I think when did the PS3 come out? When did it first release?
2005, 2006?
Let's see.
It's 2005.
6 or 7.
2006.
I think it was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this game came out on PS2 in 2008. So it was still relatively old. Persona 4.
Oh.
And this cemented JRPGs for me permanently. It did honestly 3 things. It cemented JRPGs as being, this is going to be the things I always play. It's never going to change. It reminded me that, oh, right, Square doesn't make good games anymore, so we can now do something else. Cool. Great. The last thing that it told me is, oh, yeah, you're into anime now. Yeah, no, you're an anime guy. Yeah, no.
Flip that switch.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
You found it. You found the thing. I mean, it could have been, if Square had made Chrono games, it might have had a shot at it again, but they decided that was too good for them. So they were like, no, we're just going to go away. And Atlas was like, yeah, we can fill that void and do it way better than you guys ever could. So Persona essentially was like, can we take a murder mystery, add this like ridiculous over the top, you know, monsters in a high school setting and this weird, like, you go into a TV in order to access this dungeon world. Like, it's the absurdities of what Japanese games tend to be, and then took that and put, honestly, to this day, I still think is one of the best stories in JRPGs because it actually does a murder mystery phenomenally well, to the fact that I had no idea who the final boss was going to be until they finally revealed it. Generally, I'm pretty good at keeping up with these things. In fact, the literal next game, Persona 5, I knew right away who the boss was as soon as the actual moment that you're supposed to figure out happens. It's one of those moments that you're supposed to not notice until they tell you, and I'm like, no, I caught that. I'm not stupid. I know. But 4 was like, I had no idea. I had like so many different suspicions and and the one person who it actually ended up being was never on my list. Never. And now I've learned that people with that archetype are probably the ones on the list, so now I don't fall for it anymore. But I found that this will be the last JRPG. Actually, well, I mean, the one game I'll bring up later is kind of in that realm, but not really. But like, this game essentially took what Final Fantasy IV did and just built upon everything that did and put it into a modern lens for me. Because I played Final Fantasy II, like, I think a few years after it came out, so it wasn't, like, recent at the time. Whereas 4, I played the second it came out. So that was the moment to me where it's... I mean, I already been playing JRPGs for a long time, but that cemented, like, nope, that's your favorite genre. Nope, that's never changing. Doesn't matter what Square tries to do to kill it for you. If somebody else is picking up the slack, you're fine. And Chris, at some point, will finally get to play that and understand. Now that he's finished Metaphor, he knows what Atlas can do now.
Oh, yeah, they're fantastic.
I can't wait for that remake to come out because I'm like, I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I think Chris can safely play Persona 5 now, knowing there's a remake coming out. But I mean, if you're going to start with any Persona game, 4 is that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I gotta. So many games.
I can't even sucker Kaylan into that. God damn it.
Nope, not happening.
Kaylan's already beat Persona 4. Come on.
I mean, even if Kaylan had a genuine interest, there is no way he's going to have enough time to finish that game.
Nope.
It's like the Splinter Cell anime, but like in school. That's it. That's the only difference.
Because here's the point. Here's how I know Kaylan cannot play this game. Do you know how long the average time for just the main story is, according to How Long to Beat?
Oh God,
69 hours.
Oh,
I'm out. I'm out.
Main and extras, 85. Chris's favorite one, Completionist, 122 to 135.
Oh, that's Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
But it's good.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah.
Like, look, I would love to suggest this to Kaylan, but I'm like, I in good conscience know, like, even if he wanted to, he's not going to have time to do this.
Kingdom Hearts is like 25 hours. Like, you'll be fine.
It's 25 hours too long.
I don't know. Maybe if we could like stealthily like lead this into his kids and be like, hey, you know, it'd be really cool to play.
You guys like Mickey Mouse? Here, check this out.
Right?
Yeah,
Stay away from my
It's
kids.
like all the good Disney
Stay away
properties.
from my kids. Oh.
Yeah. So funny just hearing like the path that you took in gaming, because it's so opposite from mine. Like the games that we played and stuff. Like for me, the next game on my list is one I talk about all the time, and it's Splinter Cell. Like
Yeah.
that game came out. I think the first one was like 2002. You can check me on that. I think it's like 2002,
Will do.
2003. Because it was an Xbox. Like I played it on PC.
Yep, 2002.
Yeah. So like I was at like prime, like I was like 13 or 14 when this game came out, and it was just amazing to, like, it felt so cool. It was like so mature. Like people talk about like Metal Gear of like being that time where it's like, oh, games can tell like mature stories and stuff like that. And I totally like understand that it came first. But for me, this was my access where it's like, man, this is so mature in terms of like level of storytelling and what's going on. And then the stealth mechanics, like I grew up playing like Doom and stuff where it was like fast and shooting, and now it's like, oh, I gotta be slow and methodical in like how I approach this. And I thought that was just so cool, and really was where I fell in love with stealth games that would then cascade throughout my entire gaming genre. That if there's an option to play stealth, I usually opt for the stealth method, and it's because of Splinter Cell.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It's honestly like there's the meme that like Skyrim where it's like, all right, I'm going to try a new build. I'm going to try starting out as this. And then by the end of the game, it's like stealth archer build every time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like for me, like it was just, it's such a cool story, such cool gameplay, especially once you get into like Pandora Tomorrow, and once you get into like Chaos Theory was just pinnacle. Like
Blacklist.
I don't think, like I bought an Xbox, like the original Xbox, to play Double Agent. Like, that's how excited I was for it. Like, if a Splinter Cell game comes out, I've played it. Like, I bought an Xbox 360 for Conviction because that was an exclusive. So, like, for me, it's if Splinter Cell's out there, I'm playing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This explains a lot.
Yeah. That's
Like
what the point is. I just want Splinter Cell. I want more. Like.
Suddenly, every episode makes sense.
I don't know. So far, it hasn't explained anything. We're just like, yeah, no, that's we already know.
No, I already knew this. This isn't shocking in the least, but yeah.
The only thing that's going to be
Now you
shocking
see how
is me
far
not
back.
doing 5 JRPGs across this entire list.
That's true. What's even going to be more shocking is how, again, far back I am compared to you guys already.
All right, so here comes the Sonic entry.
This is Sonic. Good job. Yeah, this is when this guy comes in. I've got the Game Boy here for Tetris, and now we go right here to Sonic. It's actually Sonic and Knuckles, believe it or not. And it's not because it's my favorite Sonic or anything by any means. It's just I got a Sega Genesis a couple years after I had my Game Boy, maybe a year, I can't remember. It came with Sonic 1 and 2. It was my first like console on the TV that I got to call mine and play and all that kind of stuff. I played through Sonic 1. I liked it. I could never beat it at the time. It was really hard. Again, I'm like 11 in this story here. Sonic 2, I played through. I think I might have beat it. Then Sonic 3 came out, but it was one of those things where I was just at the store and all of a sudden, it was there. And I was like, oh, there's another Sonic game I don't know about. And my parents ended up knowing I wanted it, grabbed it for me for my birthday or Christmas or whenever, how we would get video games back in the day. But the reason I chose Sonic and Knuckles is because this is a huge turning point for me, because I remember it was coming out in October of 1994, which was like 6 months after Sonic 3 came out. I got wind that this game was coming out, and it was the first time in my life that I was anticipating a game launch. It was the first time I wasn't just playing something because it was in front of me and I liked it. It was when I was actually thinking about gaming away from gaming. It was the reason I actually remember walking to the convenience store down the road from my house and picking up Electronic Gaming Monthly, the magazine that came out every month. And it was because there was talks about Sonic and Knuckles that was coming out in a few months, and there was pictures and all that kind of stuff. And that was definitely the game that turned me into the gamer that reads about gaming, that anticipates game launches, that's counting down to the release. That I actually was also saving up my own money, which I had a paper route at the time, so I was like, really saving. But I actually went and bought my own first game with my own money at only 11 because this game was, I needed it. I needed the new Sonic, especially with, it would connect the games and all that kind of shit. It was mind blowing at the time. But yeah, it's not even just that it was a Sonic game necessarily. It's just because I was into that series and all that, I wouldn't have been reading gaming magazines yet if it wasn't because of it. I wouldn't be anticipating game launches, showing up on day one to pick up a game and buy it. I think I did at Sears at the time. I don't even know. Saving up my own money for a game release. Like, all of this happened with one single game, which was, obviously that's a big thing for a gamer, right? Not just playing because it's there. Now you're anticipating games and reading about it in magazines. Yeah, Sonic & Knuckles was that for me. I was 11 when that game came out. That makes me sound really fucking old. Holy shit.
It does.
You are.
1994. Oh, God, and I'm double digits already. Yeah.
Good for you, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
Next one for me, not too long after. Xbox, like we talked about it when we were talking about like the better generations, and Xbox 360 really was that generation that kind of made me go, oh shit, yeah, this is like, obviously, like, gaming was a hobby for a long time, and the 360 era kind of like cemented, because it was the first one that I also like started buying a lot of stuff for myself. PS2 I did for a bunch then too, but there was still like a period of a lot of it was just whatever we could get for cheap, Christmas, that kind of stuff. 360 was the first full generation where it was all out of my pockets. So that was where it meant a lot after that. I've always said before, if you ever want to get me to play your game, the story better be goddamn good. Persona started that. Mass Effect 2 cemented that. The original Mass Effect was fine, but it was in a vacuum, it's just a decent game. 2 was the first time that I really saw a game that took story in a sequel and made it matter. And it was something that I affected too. So, because it was taking your choices from the previous game and adding it on. So it was one of those games that, like, I still will say to this day, it's really hard for me to find a game that had a better overall start to finish than that game did. Because it's just constant, either intrigue or balls to the wall. And there's no pausing. And there's a lot of games out there that can have a long ass runtime and lose your interest over and over again. For a game, let me just quickly check how long to beat for that, because I would have pretty much almost completed it in full. So somewhere around the 40-hour range. It's not easy to keep your interest for 40 hours without stopping. And Mass Effect 2 is the first instance also where I played a game when I picked it up at EB Games at 10 in the morning till 2 in the morning the next day. Basically just pausing for bathroom and dinner. That was it.
What good days.
I didn't do that much then. So that tells me everything that I need to know then. And it's a shame because that game has almost never been captured in a similar way since, because not just because BioWare doesn't understand what they are anymore, but because most games, as soon as they've made one, generally speaking, they cannot capitalize on what they started. I find now, and this may be a conversation for a whole other episode, but like, most games, the second game, it may be gameplay-wise builds better. I almost feel like the story is never better. Like, even the most like recent example that we can think of, Forbidden West and Spider-Man 2, they're both like pretty good games. The story is just not as good, though.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions, but yeah, for the most part, no.
Like, in terms of our biggins right now, like the last like 10 years, it's pretty rare.
Oh, in the last 10 years, absolutely not.
Yeah. Like, it's very rare that happens.
Good pick. Very good pick. I've only played Mass Effect 1, so I don't know why I'm saying this.
Yeah, I played Mass Effect 1. I tried Mass Effect 2.
Forgetting that you have the trilogy, Chris, and you stopped at 1.
I didn't stop. I just haven't gone back yet. It's
That's
installed on the
stop.
PS5. Yeah, I haven't fully stopped. I'm paused. It's different. If you stop a movie, you have to restart.
That's a long-ass pause, man.
It's called my backlog, man. It's really, really debilitating.
Tim Curry and Rocky Horror didn't even leave you in this much
Oh,
there's a queue.
Patient.
There's a queue, Adam. There's a queue. You have to wait.
It's a queue.
Yeah, I
tried.
tried.
is owned on everything.
I played Mass Effect 1 and I liked it, and then I played Mass Effect 2 and I thought like the beginning was dumb in the sense of like, oh, you're a clone of like Commander Shepard. And I was like, okay, all right, weren't you like?
No, they basically rebuilt you completely.
Okay. And then And then like the idea of like I don't know, I didn't vibe with the characters, and I didn't care about their backstories. I didn't want to hear their stories. It's just like, let's move the plot along, and it's like, let me tell you about my backstory. I'm like, no, I don't care. So the characters didn't vibe.
Well,
with
it's
me,
not
so.
their fault that you are a heartless son of a bitch.
I'm just saying.
All of a sudden, other things are starting.
Sam
to
Fisher works alone.
See, it's all making sense now.
For me, the second game, like going back to what Chris said about with Sonic, of like the first game that he was like aware of and anticipated and like kind of like couldn't get enough of. For me, I'm going to circle back a little bit behind because like Splinter Cell I listed, but one that kind of came before that was Pokemon. I had Pokemon Blue, and for me, this was like, I don't think it's where I got to be a gamer, but this is where I started getting like anticipation, and I couldn't get enough of like Pokemon, and I was like, I had Pokemon Blue on my Game Boy, and like Chris said, I would like be driving home from wherever, grandma's house, and like that 2 seconds you had in between streetlights to look at your screen, like I was doing that, sitting there with my flashlight holding it so I could play it with like one-handed. I played a lot of Pokemon, and then like I started following Pokemon. I was buying like Nintendo Power to like read more about Pokemon. I bought Silver when it came out. Like I remember distinctively like my dad coming home from work one day. Like my dad worked shift, right? And so he was coming home late, and we didn't have a Toys R Us near us. It was like 40 kilometers away from our house, and my dad was picking it up after work, but he was working a late shift. And like he wasn't coming home until like probably 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. And I just remember waiting up for him because he was going to stop at Toys R Us and pick it up and bring it home. And like I remember the excitement of that. So like that's when I got excited about games and like aware of what was being released, when it was coming out, and like wanting it as soon as I could. So I think Pokemon was definitely a definitive game for me, and one that I'm actually kind of excited to share with my kids. And I want that, like, they're kind of starting to get into it, and it's really fun to kind of go back. So yeah, so Pokemon was definitely an important one for me as a gaming milestone or development.
Oh, 100%. Oh, Red and Blue. Those were the days. Those were so good. So good.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought about putting them in there, and then I realized, no, it didn't shape shit because I can't stand that series anymore.
But at the time, like that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't like the series. Like, I still would love to have a Red and Blue like remaster for the Switch.
Yeah.
True sense, like not
True
not the Let's Go whatever or something like that. Like I want Red and Blue. You know, it would be so cool, and like trading Pokemon online with friends and stuff like that. Like, that would be a day one buy if I could get a Pokemon game like original.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Yeah.
Even if you can imagine doing it as like Link's Awakening graphics.
Yeah.
In like today's.
Well, I mean the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee games, pretty much like that's what you're after almost.
They're not quite, like they're a little bit more like cartoony
as opposed to Link's Awakening.
Sorry, hear me out. It's a little less 2D, sort of like top down, like Link's Awakening is. Like I want more of that sort of art style, whereas I find like Let's Go Pikachu is more like.
What if they did it as close to like the Pokemon like anime?
I'd be down for that.
So it actually looked like, you know, like 90s Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is Brilliant Diamond and something Pearl on Switch, which is a Shining Pearl. Those might hit, but I don't know if you were into the Diamond and Pearl
no.
ones. That's the only thing. It's like
I did Silver, and like even Silver just didn't capture as well because it was like.
I think I realized like at Ruby Sapphire is where my point was, because I actually didn't mind Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Actually, I think I might still have my cartridge of Crystal somewhere, but.
I think I still have Silver somewhere. Maybe I should go back and play it.
Yeah, do it. Just try and put it in the Switch. Should plug in somewhere, right?
I mean, you could with the N64.
Oh yeah, there was like
you could do that at Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I still got my original Game Boy Color, and I can go back.
Yeah.
Numero 3, Chris.
For me, this is so Adam, as you talked about Persona 4. I'm definitely going to be the guy in this episode. For anybody older listening to this, I'm your 90s guy. Like, I'm going to be the person that grew up with these games.
Well, and that's the thing. The way shaping us is going to have so many different meanings. Like, to me, most of my games are modernish because it's kind of where I am now. Because, like, I probably have a much older list if this is, say, 2018 that we do this episode.
Yeah. Well, for me, my third one, when I discovered my true love for JRPGs, was Chrono Trigger. And I can't deny that. Like, I've talked about it obviously on the show and stuff before. So I was a Sega Genesis kid. I didn't have a Super Nintendo back then. You didn't usually have both. Your parents got you one, and hopefully it was the one you wanted.
Somehow I had both. I don't know how.
You lucky son of a bitch. So I didn't get a Super Nintendo myself until the N64 was already out, and I was saving up my own money. I was able to buy like a pre-used Super Nintendo. Somebody was selling it, obviously, to get N64. But Chrono Trigger, actually, I played before I had a Super Nintendo. So me and my best friend growing up, Brent, he had a Super Nintendo, I had the Sega Genesis. He would come over to my place. We'd play Sonic, Phantasy Star 4 later on and that kind of stuff. I'd go to his house and we'd play Contra 3 and stuff like that on his Super Nintendo. But one day we were out. He had a paper route. I had one too. That's how we obviously made money back then. And he was like, I'm getting this new game came out today and I come over and play it. It's called Chrono Trigger. I'm like, what the hell is it? And he's like trying to describe what Nintendo Power said about it. I didn't really know about JRPGs yet. I'd played a little bit of Mystic Quest and 4 on his Super Nintendo and a little bit of Breath of Fire. They did not click with me. I did not understand what the fuck was going on. It made no sense. But he's like, come play. It's kind of like those games, but it's time travel and and it was this artist and stuff. I had no idea what Dragon Ball was. Like, none of it made sense to me. But I'm like, cool, I'll come over and play it. That game is honestly when I went from like playing video games as a hobby to becoming like it's my lifestyle, and it's JRPGs, and this is when I am now obsessed with gaming. Me and him played through that game probably 20 times. So I played through a JRPG 20 times at someone else's house on a cartridge I didn't even own. That tells you how often first I was over there. So clearly, thank you, Mrs. Brent's mom, for helping me eat that many times. That was very helpful because she fed me dinner every single time, and it was every day basically. And yeah, like it was just so awesome to like go in. It was the first game that had like a big story that I was playing through, right? Where I'm learning everything from beginning to end, and there's all the characters and there's side characters, and it was like obviously not like a movie or anything, but it was like a book, and you're going through this full story. The music is like the most iconic crazy music I'd ever heard in my life. I went over to my buddy's house and even had a microphone up to the TV where I was recording. I played the played the game beginning to end just to record the music onto a cassette so I could have my own gaming soundtrack. So this is clearly where my obsession of listening to gaming music came from. It just like introduced me to this perfect video game and in obviously the genre that has become my favorite genre of all time, JRPGs. And I just love it. Like I've obviously, as soon as this happened, I eventually grabbed a Super Nintendo, and immediate was Mystic Quest, Final Fantasy 4, which was 2 at the time, Final Fantasy 3 at the time, which was 6, Super Mario RPG, Breath of Fire 2. Like all of a sudden, I started knocking out JRPGs like it was the only game type I wanted to play, which continued obviously on to today, where I am, playing Expedition 33 on day one. I'm getting through Metaphor. I'm getting through Sea of Stars being my favorite game, all that kind of stuff. Like Chrono Trigger is just that game that like opened up a world to me. And yeah, it's just, I love it so much. Still my favorite game to this day.
So in the art of still making Kaylan mad with games that he doesn't give a shit about, Yakuza 0. And the reason for that is because, well, what are the kind of things that I seem to like the most right now? Stuff that is dumb shit over the top fun and makes no goddamn sense. And Kingdom Hearts doesn't fit the bill. Yakuza 0, like, I knew about the series for a long time. I just never, it was never something that got my attention. Because generally speaking, like, beat 'em up games don't always click with me. So it's like God of War, for example, was the biggest one. Like, I could not have given a shit about God of War if I tried. I did not like that series at all. So when I saw Yakuza, I'm like, oh, this just looks like God of War, just, modern Japan, like mafia shit, rather than, beating fucking Greek gods and shit. And I looked at Grand Theft Auto and going, well, this is really what I'm after, so who cares? And then finally, Video Game Donkey on YouTube did a video about Yakuza 0. And I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck is this game? Like, it's so weird. What the fuck is this? And eventually it was on super cheap. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. Let's see what this is all about. Because that's when I found out that it's also like the prequel to the original. I'm like, okay, cool, fine. It's a good starting point. You know, if I end up liking this, you know, maybe I can go back and revisit some stuff. And within like 2 hours, I was like, why have I never played this series before? This is like the fucking greatest thing ever. It is so stupid, and yet is some of the most serious shit I've ever played in a video game. This is like the most serious Shadow of the Colossus like drama right next to like fucking like insert slapstick Saturday morning cartoon shit at times. Like, it's so weird how you go from 1 second battling your brother in this massive fisticuffs like it's fucking the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, and then you're fucking bowling. But actually good bowling, not Grand Theft Auto 4 bowling. And then you bowl, and I've said this story before. Then you bowl, and you bowl 3 strikes, and then someone says, oh, you get a turkey, but they put a chicken on the table. And then they go, well, that's not a chicken, that's a that's not a turkey, that's a chicken. They're like, oh shit, you're right. You know what? Let me go cut that up, and I'll just make you a chicken sandwich right now. And he goes, no, I'm gonna keep him, and I'm gonna name him Nugget, and he's gonna run all my businesses as an associate and make me so much money.
He makes you so much money.
And I'm like, and remember, I'm also already watching anime at this point. And even then, Yakuza 0 was breaking my brain at times. I'm like, I've never seen a video game do this. Why? Like, apart from Saints Row, I think at that point, I'd never seen any other game that was like just this fucking stupid, but like in the best way possible. And then here we are after 9 of these games now, and I ain't stopping.
No, neither are they.
I mean, we know that I'm the wacky dude on this show. That game is why.
It explains a lot. It does.
It does.
Actually does. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, Promise Mascot Agency doesn't happen if Yakuza didn't exist. Which, by the way, Chris,
slope.
the Yeti has a Promise Mascot Agency shirt, and you bet your ass I'm getting one.
Oh my god! Of course you are. That's the thumb one, right? The mascot's
Yes.
a thumb. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pinky.
Oh, sorry.
Because you cut the pinky,
I'm
right?
so sorry.
You got to understand Yakuza culture, Chris.
Oh, I love it.
Speaking of guys who understand Yakuza culture, hey, Kaylan, what's up for you?
He's like, number 4, Yakuza 2.
We're on the same wavelength. No, for me, one of the ones, I don't know where it lands in the timeline or whatever, but I think one of the ones that probably for a lot of people was Fallout 3. Fallout 3 was just such a cool game. Like, I was not into Elder Scrolls. I didn't play Oblivion. I had friends who did, but I'm not a huge fantasy person, and like playing with like knights or playing with swords and shields just didn't appeal to me. And then this idea of like coming out of a vault in a post-apocalyptic world just right up my alley. Like, I like a lot of the stories that especially a lot of books I like to read are all post-apocalyptic books. Like right now I'm reading Wool by Hugh Huxley, and like that's basically just a vault experiment if ever like there was a book about it. I love post-apocalyptic, and so just coming out into what was a real post-apocalyptic world that I can go and explore any way I choose was just so incredible. And I love Fallout because it's every building is like a small little dungeon with its own little story of like what happened here, and like you go through and like they'll tell you like a little story of something that happened in that ruin. And I loved exploring Washington D.C. in that post-apocalyptic wasteland. And like I just all of those games going forward, like afterwards, was always just like I want to explore those worlds and see them more, and like think of like other worlds that I'd like to see. That like what would have happened in Fallout if you think of something like London, or like even like our home area of Toronto, like what would that look like in a Fallout world? And so it just, that genre just hit so well, and to be able to go and explore a post-apocalyptic world just appealed to me so much.
I wish I could recapture how I felt playing Fallout 3, because I haven't been able to replicate it with any game like that.
Yeah?
Because, like, well, New Vegas is probably the closest, but, like,
yeah,
I couldn't get into 4. I haven't even thought about 76. But, like, both the Outer Worlds games now, like, I don't know what it is. It's just they don't click the same way. And
Did you ever try Metro?
Metro. Well, I think I tried
Metro's
the first
fun.
one. I think it was also because it's like a little more of the like tense sort of scary side. So
Yeah,
I was
it's
also like
more
not
scary.
as interested.
Yeah.
For the same reason that like I couldn't get into Stalker recently. So like a lot of those reasons, but like I haven't been able to find a game that makes me as interested as Fallout 3 did, and I think it was just because of the like just it being a
Novelty.
new thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love the Fallout series. It's so good. Oh, love it. Well, my next game's way before that. Because I'm old. So my next one, as you know, I've got, Tetris over here somewhere, and then Sonic, and then my next one I actually got tattooed on my arm, which is Ocarina of Time. It's not even like Ocarina of Time itself is like the best Zelda game or anything.
Well, yeah, because it's overrated.
I don't think it's overrated. I'm just saying that Link to the Past is better.
It is.
Link to the Past is better, or are you
Yeah.
saying that Ocarina
Link
is
to the
overrated?
Past is the definitive.
Oh,
version of the
100%.
game.
It's not even close. The fact that
But
Ocarina people put on the pedestal, I'm like, I don't know what you guys are seeing.
Ocarina of Time is just a Link to the Past in 3D. That's all it
Yes.
is.
Which means it's clunkier than Link to
Yes.
the Past.
Oh, it's very clunky.
It has
for
not
sure.
aged. Like Link to Ocarina of Time is good. Link to the Past is just
Ocarina
wine.
of Time
Like,
needs a remake, but make it in the style of Link to the
it
Past.
doesn't even need a remake. Like that game you can pick up today and it's just as good as it was, 30 years ago.
Link to the Past. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that I played Ocarina of Time before Link to the Past. In fact, Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda game technically. Because again, didn't have a Super Nintendo, and when I finally picked one up used, all I bought was JRPGs because I didn't know what the hell anything else was at that point. But yeah, like I had a subscription in Nintendo Power. I think at this point I'm getting into high school. I've got a Nintendo 64, and I saw Ocarina of Time, and I was like, "What is this magic? Like, I need to know what this is." Picked it up, grabbed it day one. I had to go to a Zellers here in Canada because everywhere else was sold out because I didn't know what pre-ordering was at the time. That's how I learned what that was. But I did find it, and it was on the gold cart and all that. And much like Adam, you're talking about Mass Effect, where you like picked it up in the morning and then you played for, I don't know, like 15 straight hours. That was the first time I did that. This was Ocarina of Time, got it day one. Played for way too many hours with still technically being in high school and needing to go to school the next morning. But this is what had me fall in love with like cinematic adventure games. Now I get this game is not by today's standards very cinematic, but back then you've got the scene with Zelda coming out on the horse, throwing the ocarina into the water, Ganondorf, all that kind of stuff. It was showing a story, but in a way where it was like movies are slowly becoming video games. This isn't Mario 64 or something like that. This is a movie, and you are the main character in this fantasy world, much like things at the time like I would have loved, like Lord of the Rings, right? Kind of hitting those notes. I played through it, I fell in love with it, and I fully blame Ocarina of Time being the reason that I love so many adventure games since. If it weren't for Ocarina of Time, I wouldn't be playing things like, obviously these are more action adventure, but like Uncharted, Assassin's Creeds, all of those being one character in a world and going and just like experiencing a story that you're in charge of. Like you're running this movie, there will be cutscenes, but it's up to you, to actually go and be this character. JRPGs at the time, which I'd been into, you weren't ever really playing as one character. There was multiple characters and you were just choosing options on a screen. Here I was really feeling like I'd become a character. And yeah, Ocarina of Time just made adventure games kind of my second go-to outside of JRPGs. So yeah, I hold a big place in my heart for that. I mean, I literally tattooed it on my arm, so I better.
How creepy. I always find it really creepy when you go into Hyrule Castle, like as an adult, and it's all zombies. Like that always freaked the hell out of me.
That freaked the heck out of me because by that point it was like 1 a.m. and I was still playing the game, and I was a wuss in high school. Yeah. I know I was in high school, but I was a wuss in high school. I was like, "What is this shit?" Or like when you go into the grave and there was those things that would scream at you, and all of a sudden it would be slow motion for a second.
Yeah.
The enemies
and
that
then
like,
you could finally run,
jump and hug you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Fuck that
Right?
grave. But I loved it. It was great.
Such a good game.
Yeah.
So the main game that shaped me what I am today, I'll get to in a sec. I want to just briefly just shed out Coffee Talk because Coffee Talk is the reason that I'm into indie gaming now. So like I really wanted to slide that in there, but I couldn't, knowing what this last game is, because, and it's going to be crazy, but it's Destiny. And the reason that Destiny is here is because Destiny is the reason that I got out of my shell. Because, you know, growing up, like I played with friends. Like it's not like, but up until I was 13, I lived in a very small village, so I rarely ever got to play with people. So a lot of my time gaming growing up was single player. And you can tell that because all the other games that I listed are single player games, right? So, I mean, I had friends that we would play GoldenEye with. I had friends that when Halo came out, I'd play Halo with. But like, maybe like Call of Duty started me on the era of like playing games online, but I didn't really do it much, and I didn't really do it with people. Like I would still just play in random lobbies or whatnot. Wouldn't use the chat much. When Destiny came out, at first I was like, oh, this is really neat, but I still wasn't really playing with people. And then I realized, oh, fuck, I kind of have to. And I started looking at websites to see, okay, well, where can I find a group or whatever? And I started going through that. Had it not, like, I maybe would have gotten to this point anyway, but had it not been for that, there's a good shot that all of this that we're doing right now wouldn't have happened, because I wouldn't have started going and networking with people randomly, going into Discords and chatting with people, going onto Reddit and finding stuff. Kaylan, I probably would have never looked at your stuff because I wouldn't have thought about, you know, trying to go and just talk to random people online for no reason. So, like, in a weird way, like, Destiny, like, as much as Bungie can fuck the hell off now, but, like, that game specifically, I mean, and Destiny 2 kind of falls into the same era, but by that point, I already had, like, the groups that I was with, and that pretty much stayed. But, like, I still have 2 separate Discords that I will once in a blue moon pop into and say hi to people that I've known since the original Destiny. And that's stuff that doesn't stick much, right? Like nowadays, I don't know if you guys have similar things. I know, Chris, you have like one of our Discord friends, Terrence. But like there are like, I'm sure that both of you probably have like people that you keep up in some circles that you just met playing video games with. And like that's something that seemed alien to me at the time. And because of games like that allowing me to really come out of my shell, like I was still a really keep everything close to the cards guy. And then as soon as I, you know, was playing with people on a daily basis, you start talking all the time. I started saying way more stuff, got way more outspoken. A couple of years later, I was podcasting with a friend of mine that I didn't even really know all that much at the time. He was just like in a Facebook group with a bunch of our classmates in high school being like, hey, I'm doing a podcast. Anybody interested? And I'd be like, yeah, why not? And that's something I never would have done before. So I look at a game like Destiny and go, like, that's the game that I kind of go, yeah, like that's, I should say that was before the high school thing is completely unrelated. I just realized I just kind of just talked in circles, but Destiny is that game that I just kind of went, oh shit, I can do a lot more outside of things than just kind of chill and play my single player games happily.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then it ended up to here. That came full circle.
Yeah. So it's Destiny's fault that you're stuck with me.
It's all Destiny's fault.
You can say it was Destiny.
Oh, but that's the episode.
All right, well, I'm gonna pull the.
That's been great. Thanks, everybody.
I'm gonna pull the bungee cord on this one.
Oh.
Boo. Yeah, similar vein, I'm gonna throw out Halo. Halo was a big game for me. I mean, I played like Doom and stuff as a kid. I played Duke Nukem, but they were always kind of in passing. Halo was I think, if not the first, one of the first games I can remember beating as a kid, like from start to finish, all by myself, which was kind of cool. And like, yeah, just getting into the first person, you know, shooter genre was really cool. I mean, I played GoldenEye and I played Perfect Dark, but like, once again, not to the same extent as Halo. Halo really kind of changed it, and then put this trajectory that like I did start getting into like multiplayer games, like playing multiplayer games with friends and stuff, and then, you know, like meeting online and playing like Halo 2 with like people on Xbox Live and all that fun stuff. Like, it just created a real sense of community around gaming, other than just, oh, you've got a video game console, like, let's play, and having like one friend who was good at it and one who wasn't. Like, everyone was playing Halo, so everyone was like holding their own on it. But then it also like spiraled into other things. Like, I started playing Call of Duty. I started playing like Brothers in Arms as another one. And then it got me huge into like not I want like playing like FPS online. Like I played a lot of Killzone 2 on multiplayer because like I thought that's my favorite experience of playing multiplayer online. I also played Battlefield 1, but like it all boiled down to like Halo as being like the first one that kind of got me used to and playing like first person shooters and stuff. So I just feel like having a definitive game and not having Halo on it for me was something that kind of like needed to be there. So Halo is my number 5.
Nice. Good pick. Also love Halo. Good times.
Yeah.
Chris, I love how my 5th one is also about coming out of my shell and playing multiplayer and all that kind of stuff. Although I'm the old man of the group, so mine's StarCraft because now I get it. And the StarCraft didn't have voice and stuff like that. Like you're not wearing a headset and really talking.
They were all speaking Korean anyways. You wouldn't have understood them.
This was before
and kicking your
before
ass.
It was just pure Korean. Oh no, I was good. I was actually quite good because it would be like Christmas Eve, and I would be the one setting up a 2v2 no noobs Merry Xmas at midnight of Christmas Eve when I should instead be in bed. Yeah, this was like very late into high school for me. My friends introduced me to StarCraft, and we'd go into the computer lab during like our lunch break. We all had set up StarCraft without the our teacher knowing, and we had like a LAN set up so we could all play StarCraft against each other. But I got it at home, and then I actually started playing a lot of StarCraft online. I started meeting people in forums, adding them to ICQ. So Kaylan, when you're like 11, I'm, near the end of high school, using ICQ. But yeah, I was like meeting so many random people that it brought me out of my shell to the point that I even went on a date with a girl that I had met through the forums for StarCraft, which was very interesting. Didn't last. It was one date, but still, that was a big thing for me because I'm meeting random people just outside of my already existing friends group / high school. And I came from a very small high school. There was 500 students across the entire school. Our classes were like 20 something people. Like I'm talking about the whole grade. That amount of people. Very, very small. So I didn't have too many interactions with too many people until like university. This set me up for that. Like I got to meet random people, play games online, talk with people. Sure, it was just chatting online and all that kind of stuff, but it was a huge thing for me with building confidence and, getting introduced to multiplayer, which at the time I thought it was going to be PC only, right? I don't think Xbox and stuff was out yet when I was doing this, where they were introducing like online multiplayer. So if you wanted to play online, your option was PC. So it was very, very cool. And I was really, really glad that my friends introduced me to that game. Now I had to stop because I played way too much of it. I had to literally stop playing StarCraft. It was like, go outside, touch grass. It's great you're socializing, but go outside. That was definitely me with StarCraft. But yeah, I fully give that game the full credit for me in being introduced to online and meeting random other gamers outside of, kids I already knew at school. So yeah, StarCraft.
Nice. Yeah. One thing I want to because I was debating putting like StarCraft and Warcraft on there. Not necessarily like I played the games and stuff. Actually, fun. Yeah, I played Warcraft quite a bit and stuff, and StarCraft. But the one thing that like really was like defining for me is that I'm a big art person. Like I like to draw, and the cutscenes and like the animations from Warcraft were just so good, and it was really an inspiration for me as like someone who likes to draw. Like I would be copying those and like taking inspiration to those constantly as a kid.
And this guy wasn't playing Final Fantasy back in the day, eh, Chris?
Hey, at this time, Final Fantasy looked pretty blocky.
No, the cutscenes,
It was
man.
PS1. The cutscenes were better. They were definitely better.
But I mean, nobody was putting out stuff like Blizzard was.
No,
in, like,
Blizzard
the 90s
on a
and
PC
2000s.
back then.
What do you mean?
the
Blizzard
things
didn't put out a movie like Square did.
Wait, but yes, they did. That I wouldn't say it's a great movie.
No, like at the time Spirits Within came out, I mean.
Oh, no.
Spirits
The
Within.
Warcraft
I
movie.
actually watched that movie. That was I really liked
saw
that movie.
it in theaters day one. It was not what I was expecting.
As someone who has has never touched a Final Fantasy thing prior to, I was like, huh,
Cool.
I'm kind of
And
down for
after
this.
you watched the movie, you still hadn't touched anything that was like Final Fantasy.
I think I may have tried
honestly-
something. I'm like, no, this does not. Like, this is totally different. I'm not in.
Yeah, the movie is closer to StarCraft than it is Final Fantasy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
StarCraft, yeah. Zerg rushes, that was the way to piss off people back then. You just rush their base right at the beginning with your 6 Zerglings, and they don't even have an enemy unit yet, so you win, and they get mad. It's also where I typed GG for the first time.
Nice. Nice.
All right, well, next week we'll be all set up because then we'll just do like, here's 5 games that made sure that we didn't fall into those kind of camps as a gamer.
The games we noped out of.
Yeah, nope.
That'd actually be kind of interesting because it'd be like, okay, me actually sitting down and thinking like, what 5 games am I really glad I avoided? God damn.
I know some, but I could play them now. But back then, fuck no.
There's a couple games that I tried and I'm just like, nope, and I just noped out of there so fast.
Yeah. Get the hell out of Dodge on that one.
It'd be a harder list to make.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it. Wow, an hour and a half. Like that was a long one. We haven't done one.
You're
that
welcome,
long
everybody.
I'm surprised that you're still awake, Kaylan, with the dab ring being like, yeah, I'm done.
I'm coasting.
And then Chris is like, I just had my 9th coffee of the day.
Oh,
no.
Chris's night has just started.
Guinness 0. That's how you get a night started. Woo, crazy.
I was surprised that Coffee Talk didn't come up for you, Chris, because that just reaffirmed my coffee addiction.
That's because I was born in 1983 and I was a full-fledged gamer by the year like 2000 when I was playing StarCraft.
But anyways, that's it. So hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, perfect chance. Throw in the comments below, like what are the games that kind of made you what you are today. But otherwise, you guys know the drill. Speaking of YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. If you are listening on any audio platform, you can give us a rating, please do so. Otherwise, share with all your friends. Don't forget our link tree, linktr.ee/PixelPlay Podcast with a link to our Discord, link to our socials, TikTok, all that fine jazz. Come hang with us in the Discord. We'll shoot the breeze, do all that fun shit. But otherwise, Friday, we are doing side quest for Final Fantasy X. The last one that I think Chris and I will actually be fully enjoying talking about as we start going down the inevitable trail of Square deciding that they didn't like making turn-based RPGs anymore. And slowly started to kill that off. But hey, we still have one good episode left. It's fine. And 12 will be not that bad, so it's okay.
Yeah, 12 will still be okay.
And then it'll be a painful final 2. Yeah. And then we'll bring in Kaylan just for like 5 minutes on 16 just to be like, so is there anything that we want to say we liked about this game? And then Chris will be like, I like this. We'll be like, shut up, Chris, we're not talking to you.
I liked it more than 15. That's like what I'm basing it on.
Well, there's a hot take if I ever heard one. Goddamn. All right. That sounds like something for later. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking us out on this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. So take care. Bye-bye for now.